Warm, tranquil water, breathtaking beaches, sports from the mundane to the extreme. The Aloha State is all about tourism. Last year, Hawaii's 6 islands drew more than 7.8 million visitors who spent nearly $14 billion. It's Hawaii's largest industry, accounting for more than 18% of the jobs in the state. And while the majority of visitors still come from the U.S. mainland, Hawaii is dependent on tourism from Asia. But interestingly, it's no longer leaning so heavily on Japan.
We've diversified our markets so that we're not overly dependent on any one geographic area.
This represented a big shift. From 1985 to 1995, Japanese tourism jumped from 15% of total visitors to 31%. By 2005, it was just 20%. Last year, just 18%. So even as the dollar's value against the Japanese yen has soared, the impact on Hawaii has been lessened. And perhaps it's helping spur other tourists.
Right now, tourism is at the strongest point it's been in decades for Hawaii. And part of that, I think, is over the last several years, we've made a very conscious effort to try to really diversify which markets we're attracting visitors from.
Perhaps more important than the raw number of visitors to Hawaii is the different ways they spend. For each day in Hawaii, Japanese tourists spend $301. U.S. visitors from the West Coast spend $152, while East Coast visitors spend $191. Canadian visitors spend $153. But dig this, Chinese visitors spend on average $392 a day. But the catch to the fancy resorts like the Grand Wailea in Maui is that the market is infinitely more fluid than it used to be.
I could tell you on January 1st, within a couple of occupancy points, how we would run in September. Today, I'd be hard-pressed on September 1st to tell you what occupancy will finish at the end of the month, because it's so dynamic. Information is instantaneous.
All the more reason that geographic diversity is needed to protect Hawaii from the falling yen.
Hawaii learned a lesson. We're in a much better position than we would have been even 10 years ago if a particular market dries up.
But a high and dry Hawaii seems hard to imagine.